Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how to crochet these really cute children's shoes. So these shoes can be made in a number of different sizes, and for all of the information on how to make the different sizes, please see the description box below. So thank you very much for watching, and please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos. So to begin your shoes, you want to start off by making a slip knot. So to do a slip knot, take your yarn and take your finger and wrap the yarn around your finger once and then twice. Then take the first loop and pull it over the second loop, and then take the second loop and pull it all the way over your finger. You then want to take your crochet hook, so take your hook, go in through this space and pull tight. And there you have a slip knot. So once you have your slip knot, we are now going to make our foundation chain. And for our foundation chain, we are going to chain 14. So chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 14. So I have just finished making my foundation chain, and now we are ready to move on to round 1 of our shoes. So to begin round 1, we're going to start off by working 3 double crochets into the 4th chain from the hook. So here is the first chain from the hook, here is the second chain, here's the third, and here's the 4th. And into this chain we're going to do 3 double crochets. So to do a double crochet, you want to yarn over and go down into this chain, the 4th chain from the hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the final 2 loops on your hook. So there we have 1 double crochet into that chain. So now we need to yarn over and go back down into the same chain again and do a second one like that, and then yarn over and go into the same chain and do a 3rd double crochet. So there we have 3 double crochets all into that chain. And now we are going to do 1 double crochet into each of the next 9 chains. So we're doing 9 double crochets, 1 into each chain. So yarn over and go down into the next chain here and do 1 double crochet. Then do 1 into the next one and 1 into the next one. And keep doing this until you have 9. So I have finished working those 9 double crochets, and you should find that you have 1 chain left at the end here. And into this last chain, we are going to work 8 double crochets. So 8 double crochets all into the very last chain. So yarn over and go into the chain and do 1 double crochet. Then go back into the same chain again and do a second one. Then do a 3rd, a 4th, and keep doing this until you have 8. So like that, so I have finished working those stitches, and when we did those 8 double crochets into this last chain here, we actually turned the corner. So far we have done our slip knot, then our foundation chain up, then we worked double crochets down, and when we did the 8 double crochets into the last chain, we turned the corner. And now for the rest of round 1, we're going to start working up along the opposite side of our foundation chain here. So we're going to start off by working 9 double crochets. So we're going to do 1 double crochet into each of the next 9 stitches, working in the opposite side of the foundation chains. So you want to yarn over and go down into this very first stitch here along the opposite side of the foundation chain. So go into the first stitch and do 1 double crochet. Then do 1 double crochet into the next stitch along, and you can see that I am going into the opposite side of the foundation chain, so like that, and do your second double crochet. Then do your third one, and keep doing this until you have 9. So I have finished working those 9 double crochets, and you should find that you have one last chain left at the end here, and into this chain we are going to do 4 double crochets. So this last chain here is actually the 4th chain from the hook that we worked into at the very beginning of the round. So we did 3 double crochets into the 4th chain from the hook. So this is the chain, and you can see here we have 3 double crochets, and then here we have the 3 double crochets that we skipped when we worked into the 4th chain. So that would have been the 1st, 2nd and 3rd chains from the hook, and those 3 chains count as our first double crochet of the round. So far at the moment we have 4 double crochets into this chain. We have 1, 2, 3, and then the chains, which count as our first double crochet. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back down into this chain and work 4 more double crochets, and then we will have 8 at this end, just like we have 8 down at this end. So yarn over, go into the last chain and do 1 double crochet, then do a second, a third, and finally a 4th, like that. And then to finish off round 1, we are going to do a slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we skipped at the beginning. So if you are not sure which stitch to go into, then you can count back 34 stitches. So you would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way around to 34, and that will take you to the stitch that you need to work a slip stitch into. So here is the top of the chain 3. So this is the stitch that we need to go into. So insert your hook into that stitch or into that chain, then yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook, like that. So there we have finished round 1, and we are ready to move on to round 2. So we are now on to round 2, and to begin this round you want to chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So now to start off, we are going to do 4 sets of 2 double crochets. So we're going to do 2 double crochets into each of the next 4 stitches. So yarn over and go down into this very first stitch here. So this is the stitch that our chain 1 comes out of. Go down into this stitch and do 1 double crochet. Then yarn over and go back down into the same stitch again and do a second double crochet. So there we have 2 double crochets both into that stitch. So now yarn over and go into the next stitch here, so the next one, and do 2 double crochets both into this one as well, like that. Then do 2 double crochets both into the next stitch, so 1 and 2, and then finally do 2 double crochets into the next stitch. So there we have done 4 sets of 2 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we are going to do 1 double crochet into each of the next 9 stitches. So do 1 double crochet into the next, and 1 into the next one, and 1 into the third one along, and do this until you have 9. So I have finished working those 9 double crochets, and now what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 double crochets into each of the next 8 stitches. So you want to yarn over and go into the next stitch and do 2 double crochets both into this stitch. So there we have 1 set of 2 double crochets. Then you want to do 2 double crochets both into the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets into the third stitch, like that. And keep doing this until you have 8 sets. So we're doing 2 double crochets into 8 stitches. So I have finished doing those 8 sets like that. And now we are going to do 1 double crochet into each of the next 9 stitches. So yarn over and go into the next stitch and do 1 double crochet into this one, and do 1 into the next, and do this 9 times in total. So there I have those 9 double crochets, and then to finish off this round we're going to do 2 double crochets into each of the next 4 stitches. So we're doing 4 sets of 2 double crochets into each stitch. So do 2 double crochets both into the next stitch, then do 2 into the next, and keep doing this until you have 4 sets. So like that. So there I have those 4 sets of 2 double crochets, and then to finish off round 2 we're going to do a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we worked. So here is the first double crochet, and we're going to go into this stitch and work a slip stitch. So make sure that you're not going into the little chain 1, that you're going into the first double crochet. But whilst doing my slip stitch, I am going to change colours. So at this point we have finished the sole of our shoe, and I want the top of my shoe to be in different coloured stripes. So if you want your shoe to be in one solid colour, then just work a slip stitch as usual into this first double crochet. So do not change colours. But if you do want different coloured stripes for the top part, then we are going to change colours now at the end of round 2, and then we will have our new colour ready to use for round 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down into this very first double crochet. So insert your hook into the stitch, so as you would with any slip stitch. But then rather than yarning over and pulling through these 2 loops here to complete the slip stitch, we're going to drop the yarn that we were using and take our new colour. So I'm going to go with a pink. So take your new yarn, place it over the end of your crochet hook and pull it through. And there you have finished the slip stitch and finished the round and changed colours at the same time. So now you can fasten off the colour that you were using. So I'm going to cut this blue yarn, leaving a tail to weave in or work over later. So like that. And now we are ready to move on to round 3. So we are now on to round 3 of our shoes. And to begin this round, you want to chain 1. And this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So now round 3 is a very simple round of half double crochet. So we're going to do 1 half double crochet into every single stitch around. But in this round and this round only, we are just going to work into the back loop of each stitch. So if you have a look at our stitches, every single stitch has a front loop, which is here, and then a back loop. So a front loop and a back loop, a front loop and a back loop. And usually when we crochet, we go through both loops. So we insert our hook through both the front and back loop of each stitch. But in this round, we are just going to go through the back loop. So we're just going to go through the back loop here. So the back loop of each stitch. So for round 3, we're going to do 1 half double crochet into the back loop of each stitch. And what that is going to do is that is going to give us a little ridge and bring the top section of our shoe away from the sole. So we're going to yarn over and go down into this first stitch here that our chain 1 comes out of, but just go down into the back loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So there we have 1 half double crochet. So now yarn over and go down into the back loop of the next stitch and do 1 half double crochet into this stitch. Then do 1 into the back loop of the next stitch. And continue this all the way around, 1 half double crochet into the back loop of every single stitch. So I have just finished working that all the way around for round 3, and at the end of this round you should have worked 50 half double crochets. So I would recommend just quickly going back and double checking that you did work 50. And then if you have, we are going to work a slip stitch into the first half double crochet of the round to finish. So here is the first half double crochet, so not the chain 1, the first half double crochet here, and into this stitch we're going to do a slip stitch. So insert your hook into this stitch, and if you are doing your shoe in a solid colour, then just yarn over and pull through these 2 loops to complete the slip stitch. But if you want to change colours, so have a different colour for next round, so you want a different coloured stripe, then drop the yarn that you were using and take your new colour, so I'm going with a green, and place it over the end of your crochet hook and pull it through. And there we have finished the slip stitch and the round using our new colour. So now you can cut the yarn that you were using, leaving a tail to weave in or work over later, and we're ready to move on to round 4. So we are now on to round 4, and to begin this round you want to chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So now to begin round 4, we are going to do 13 half double crochets, so 1 half double crochet into each of the next 13 stitches. So yarn over and go down into the first stitch, and you want to go through both the front and the back loop of each stitch. So we have finished working in just the back loop. That was for round 3 only, and now we're going back to working as usual. So work 1 half double crochet, then do 1 into the next stitch, and do this 13 times. So I have finished working those 13 half double crochets like that, and now we are going to move on to closing up the toe of our shoe. So to close up the toe, we are going to use a stitch called 2 double crochets together. So when we do 2 double crochets together, we are doing 2 double crochets, one into each stitch, but then we are not going to complete either of them, and then we're going to complete them both together at the same time. So we are effectively turning 2 stitches into 1. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 12 sets of 2 double crochets together to close up the toe for this round. So we're going to move on to our very first set. So yarn over and go down into the first stitch as you would with a normal double crochet. Then yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops as you would with a normal double crochet. But usually we would yarn over and pull through these 2 loops here, but we're not going to do that. We're going to stop here and leave this double crochet incomplete and move on to the next one. So yarn over and go down into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So there we have a second incomplete double crochet like that. And now we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on our hook. So there we have done 2 double crochets together, and we have turned 2 stitches into 1. So we have done 1 set, so we need to do 11 more, or 12 in total. So I'm going to move on to my second set. So yarn over, go into the first stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops, but leave this double crochet incomplete and move on to the second one. Yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops. So there we have 2 incomplete double crochets, and you should have 3 loops on your hook. So yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So there we have done our second set of 2 double crochets together, and we need to do 10 more. So keep working that until you have 12 sets. So I have just finished working those 12 sets, and this is what I have. So you can see we are starting to close up the toe of our shoe. And now to finish off this round, we're going to do 13 more half double crochets. So you want to do a half double crochet into the next stitch and 1 into the next, and do this 13 times, 13 half double crochets, so like that. And then to finish off this round, we're going to do a slip stitch into the first half double crochet that we worked. So here is the first half double crochet. Make sure that you're not going into the chain 1, that you're going into the half double crochet. So insert your hook into this stitch, and if you're doing a solid colour, work a slip stitch as usual, but if you're changing colours, drop the yarn that you were using, take your new yarn, so I'm going back to the blue, place it over the end of your hook and pull it through. And then you can cut the yarn that you were using, and now we are ready to move on to the next round. So we are now on to round 5 of our shoes, and to begin this round you want to chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So now to begin this round, we are going to do 13 half double crochets, or 1 half double crochet into each of the next 13 stitches. So yarn over and go down into the first stitch and do 1 half double crochet, then do 1 into the next one and do this 13 times. So there I have finished doing those half double crochets, and now we're going to move on to closing up the toe of the shoe for this round. And in this round, we're going to do 6 sets of 2 double crochets together. So just like we did last round, but last round we did 12 sets, and this round we're going to do just 6 sets. So yarn over and go down into the first stitch and work 1 incomplete double crochet. Then do an incomplete double crochet into the next stitch. You should have 3 loops on your hook and yarn over and pull through all 3. So there we have 1 set of 2 double crochets together. So we need to do that 5 more times or 6 times in total. So I'm going to do my second set. Then my third. Fourth, fifth, and finally 6. So 6 sets of 2 double crochets together like that, and you can see that that has closed up the toe even more. And then to finish off this round, we're going to do 13 more half double crochets, or 1 half double crochet into 13 stitches. So there I have finished working that, and then to finish off round 5, we're going to do a slip stitch into the first half double crochet that we worked. So go into the half double crochet, and I'm going to change colours whilst working this slip stitch, just as we have done before, like that. And now we're ready to move on to round 6. So we are now on to round 6, and to begin this round, chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So now to begin this round, we're going to do 11 half double crochets. So 1 half double crochet into each of the next 11 stitches. So yarn over and go into the first stitch and do 1 half double crochet. Then do 1 into the next one. And do this 11 times. So there I have done those 11 half double crochets. And now we're going to move on to closing up the shoe for this round. And in this round, we're going to do just 5 sets of 2 double crochets together. So just like we did for the last 2 rounds, but for this round we did 12 sets. In this round we did 6 sets. And in this round we're going to do 5 sets. So 5 sets of 2 double crochets together. So there is 1 set, and keep doing this until you have 5. So there I have those 5 sets, and we have now finished closing the toe of our shoe, and this is what it looks like. So you can see it looks really cute. And then to finish off this round, we're going to do 11 more half double crochets. So 1 half double crochet into each of the next 11 stitches. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 11. So there I have finished doing those 11 half double crochets. So there we have finished round 6. And now the final thing that we need to do is we need to go into this first half double crochet and work a slip stitch. And this is actually the last round of our shoes. So even if you have changed colours before, you do not want to change colours anymore, work a full slip stitch as usual using the colour you were using before. And then to finish off our shoes, the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a slip stitch border around the opening. So we're going to do 1 slip stitch into every single stitch. So we have done a slip stitch into this first half double crochet here, So now you want to go into the next stitch and do a slip stitch into this one. Then do a slip stitch into the next stitch and one into the next, and do this all the way around. And this is going to give us a nice neat opening to the shoe, but it's also going to make the opening a little bit smaller. So you need to be really careful not to work your slip stitches too tight, otherwise the opening will be too small and the shoe will lose its shape. So this will kind of come in too much and it will look a little bit funny. So you need to make sure that you are working your slip stitches kind of loosely. So go into each stitch and sort of take your work from up here, pull it through and then pull it through. So don't work too tight, and that will give you a nice border. So do this all the way around. So I have finished doing that all the way around, and this is what I have. And then to finish off, you want to work one last slip stitch into the last stitch here, and then fasten off. So pull your yarn out and your hook and cut your yarn. So like this. So I'm going to cut my yarn, pull it through, and then you want to weave all of your ends into the inside of your shoe. So take a yarn needle and make sure that all of your ends are weaved nice and securely into the inside. And then you want to make a second shoe in the exact same way. And we have finished. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it easy to follow. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos, and in the description box below this video I will leave a link to my Twitter account, so if you would like to go and follow me on there, I like to post pictures and updates of upcoming tutorials, and I would also really love to see photos of your crochet work on there on Twitter. I would love to see if you make these little shoes. I would love to see a photo of them. And I will also leave a link to where you can find my written patterns. So I have made some of my most popular patterns available as written patterns, and I will have a link to where you can find them in the description box below this video if you are interested. And thanks again for watching. Bye!